Something new entered our cosmic neighborhood. In 2024, astronomers spotted a faint traveler moving through our solar system. They named it 3I Atlas. At first, it seemed simple enough. Its path looked like that of a comet, one of those icy wanderers from the dark, cold spaces between the stars. Scientists labeled it as the third interstellar object ever detected. It was an exciting discovery, but it seemed to fit a pattern we already knew. We thought we understood what we were looking at. We were wrong. To understand this strange visitor, we turned our most powerful eyes toward it. The James Webb Space Telescope, the Hubble Space Telescope, stared at 3I Atlas. They are our cosmic detectives, capable of seeing faint details across immense distances. What they saw was deeply puzzling. The object did not shine like a normal comet or asteroid. Instead of reflecting sunlight predictably, its surface seemed to swallow it. It was darker than coal, absorbing an unusually high amount of solar energy. This was not the behavior of a simple rock or a ball of dirty ice. The data from Webb, which sees in infrared light, was particularly strange. It showed the object's surface temperature was remarkably stable, even as it got closer to the sun. A normal object would heat up unevenly. One side would get hot, the other stay cold. But 3I Atlas maintained a consistent thermal signature across its visible surface. It was as if something was actively managing its temperature, distributing the sun's heat in a perfectly even way. Hubble, observing invisible and ultraviolet light, added another layer to the mystery. It detected no outgassing. A comet, when warmed by the sun, releases clouds of gas, dust, creating a glowing coma and a long tail. 3I Atlas had none of that. It was completely clean. This lack of a coma or tail was definitive proof it was not a comet. But if it wasn't a comet, what was it? The combination of its dark surface, even temperature, and clean profile was unlike anything we had cataloged. These observations painted a picture of an object anything but ordinary. It was a silent, dark enigma. It seemed to interact with the sun's energy in a controlled, deliberate manner. The strangest discovery was yet to come. It did not come from a telescope looking at the object itself. It came from spacecraft that study the sun. The Parker Solar Probe, designed to fly through the sun's outer atmosphere, the European Space Agency's Solar Orbiter, designed to fly through the sun's outer atmosphere. They measure the solar wind, a constant stream of charged particles, protons, electrons, that flows outward from the sun at incredible speeds. These probes are our hands-on tools for understanding the space environment, and they saw something that should not be possible. As 3I Atlas traveled through the inner solar system, both probes happened to be in a position to measure the space around it. Their instruments detected a huge, unexpected disturbance. The solar wind, which normally flows straight out from the sun, was being bent. It curved around 3I Atlas in a smooth, symmetrical arc. Sun on the left with straight solar wind lines. 3I Atlas to the right with the solar wind lines bending in a perfect, symmetrical curve around it. The effect was massive, stretching for tens of thousands of kilometers. It was as if the object was carving a channel through the solar wind, forcing the plasma to flow around it in a perfectly controlled pattern. This was not a chaotic, messy interaction like the bow shock you see when the solar wind hits a planet's magnetic field. This was different. The curve was too clean, too precise. The solar wind wasn't just crashing into an obstacle, it was being guided. Parker, from one vantage point, confirmed the shape and scale of this disturbance. Solar Orbiter, from another vantage point, confirmed the shape and scale of this disturbance. The data from both probes matched perfectly. They were witnessing a structure in the solar wind that had no known natural cause. The object was actively shaping its immediate environment. Imagine a river flowing quickly. If you put a small rock in it, the water will splash and form messy eddies. But what if the water flowed around the rock in a perfect, smooth curve with no turbulence? That is what we are seeing with 3I Atlas and the solar wind. The first question any physicist would ask is, could gravity be doing this? The answer is a clear and simple no. Gravity is the weakest of the four fundamental forces. To bend the solar wind by gravity alone would need immense mass. As massive as a star, as massive as a black hole. But 3I Atlas is tiny, maybe only a few kilometers across. Its gravity is negligible, so gravity can't explain the bending. We must look to electromagnetism. The solar wind is a plasma, a gas of charged particles. Charged particles respond to magnetic fields. Charged particles respond to electric fields. To bend the solar wind with that precision, 3I Atlas must be generating a powerful, well-defined electromagnetic field. The required strength would dwarf any planet's magnetic field. It would need a field like what's near a small star, from an object only kilometers wide. How could a small rock do that? Here the ideas get exotic. One possibility, the surface is superconducting. At very low temperatures, superconductors expel magnetic fields, the Meissner effect. If 3I Atlas is superconducting, it could redirect the sun's magnetic field carried by the solar wind. It would use the sun's energy to shape the plasma flow around it. That leads to a mind-bending conclusion. Either we've found a new, natural phenomenon that lets small rocks make colossal magnetic fields, or it's not natural at all. The physics needed are extreme, beyond what we thought possible. The object's control of the solar wind implies mastery of energy and matter we can barely grasp. Gravity is not the answer. The answer lies in a force being controlled with astonishing power and precision. Let's explore one of the most compelling and unsettling hypotheses. Perhaps what we are seeing is not a natural phenomenon at all. It could be a piece of technology. The idea is that 3I Atlas is generating an artificial magnetosphere. A magnetosphere is a magnetic bubble that surrounds a planet like Earth. Our magnetosphere protects us from the harsh radiation of the solar wind. It acts as a shield. But what if a shield could be shaped and controlled? Not just for defense, but to actively manage the flow of plasma. An artificial magnetosphere could explain everything we see. It would account for the precise, symmetrical bending of the solar wind. A technologically advanced object could project a magnetic field to guide charged particles exactly as desired. This would not be a static, passive shield like Earth's. Instead, a dynamic system capable of adjusting its shape and strength. It could create a smooth, laminar flow of plasma, avoiding the turbulence and chaos of a natural interaction. A sign of engineering on a cosmic scale. This engineered shield would also explain the other strange properties. By controlling the plasma, the object could control how it absorbs energy. The even surface temperature observed by the Webb telescope could be a direct result of this system. Directing solar energy, distributing it across the object's surface, preventing any single point from overheating. It would function as both a shield and a sophisticated thermal regulation system. This connects the two biggest mysteries, the bending wind, the strange temperature, into a single coherent explanation. The concept of an artificial magnetosphere is not just science fiction. Theoretical models exist for small magnetic shields to protect future astronauts on missions to Mars. Our ideas are rudimentary. They require massive amounts of power and heavy equipment. But the basic physics is understood. As if the mystery wasn't deep enough, our instruments detected something else. Faint, rhythmic pulses of electromagnetic energy were emanating from the vicinity of 3I Atlas. These were not random bursts of static. They were organized. The pulses arrived in stable, repeating patterns, with incredibly precise frequencies. They were like a steady, cosmic drumbeat in the noise of the solar system. This signal did not match any known natural source, like the chaotic crackle of solar flares or the predictable spin of a pulsar. It was something new. Some scientists have proposed a fascinating idea to explain this. They call it resonancia de plasma inducida, or induced plasma resonance. The concept is that the object might be pinging the surrounding plasma with focused energy pulses. If you tap a bell at its resonant frequency, it will ring loudly with very little effort. Similarly, if you push a plasma with just the right frequency, you can create large organized waves in it. The rhythmic pulses we detect could be the signature of a system designed to control the solar wind by making it resonate. This would be an incredibly efficient way to manipulate the solar wind. Instead of fighting against the flow with a brute force magnetic field, the object would be using a subtle, intelligent method. It would be singing to the plasma in a language it understands, coaxing it into a desired shape. This would require an advanced understanding of plasma physics far beyond our own. The steady frequencies, some cycling over a period of 4.3 hours, suggest a stable, powered system that is deliberately maintaining this resonance. It is a sign of control,